Hello, all. Welcome to another episode of Sam's Corner. And today we're going to talk about couples and marriage. Forgive me, I'm a little bit tired. It has been a long day, but I still want to crank the content out. You know, I promised myself, like I said before, and I'm going to keep that promise. So I'm a little bit tired, but I still got it. Excuse the noise. It is what it is. It'll stop in a couple seconds. But I want to talk about couples and money. So here's the first thing. As a couple, you all are two people coming together to form a life together. You know, it's something that's beautiful, it's something that's magical, and it's something that should be celebrated. And I know some people, and myself included, sometimes kind of look at marriage as, you know, something that's commercialized. Well, more love is, but also there's a commercial aspect. I want to focus on the financial aspect, because I feel like that aspect of the marriage always gets ignored. And the first part I want to talk about, even though it doesn't seem like it's financial, it is, and that's communication. If you all don't learn how to talk about money, how you're going to pay bills, to pay off debts, to save, to travel, buy a house, whatever it is, those big ticket items, if you all don't come together and learn how to communicate and talk, I'm going to tell you, you're going to add more stress to your relationship. In a marriage, you're two people coming together to form a union. And by the IRS definition, it's an economic partnership. And that's part of what a marriage is, an economic partnership. There's also the love aspect, which is important. But again, like I said, we're going to focus on the economic aspect. Why? Because oftentimes it gets ignored. I do feel that in, you know, movies and life in general, Valentine's Day, love, love, love is pushed. And there's nothing wrong with that. But you're two people coming together. You have different views. You have different, sometimes different cultures. All of those things coming together, you have different thoughts of view, religion, politics, etc. And you two are coming together to form a life together. You two aren't going to always agree, but here's one of the strategies to have a less stressful marriage. You both have to learn how to talk to each other, but then also have to learn how to listen to each other. Here's the thing. Your partner, your other half, whatever, could be talking to you, and you be like, yeah, I hear you. Hearing is one thing, but listening is another, because listening requires action. Listening requires you to absorb what your partner has said and be able to reiterate it. Listening allows you to hear and feel what the other person is feeling so that you two can be on the same page. And there has to be open communication and there has to be respect. And if you all don't have that, divorces won't come. It may not come right away, but it's going to come if you all don't learn how to communicate. So that's why I want to talk about the financial part of marriage, because that requires being able to communicate and be on the same page. You both have to be on the same page when it comes, because a lot of couples fight over big ticket items. A lot of people I've known over the years, the wife has made some big purchase, the husband, boyfriend, whoever, however your relationship is, and guess what? Then a fight ensues because you all have a joint account, and then that money is just gone. And then it's, where is it? And then we didn't talk about this, and then we didn't agree to this, and then the other person feels like you did something without me, and this is a partnership. Marriage, even if you haven't gotten to the place of marriage yet, if you're still in a committed relationship with someone, that's a partnership. And partnership does not mean one person. Partnerships always mean two or more from a business perspective. Or no, because if you're in trouble, then yeah, so it doesn't matter. My point is, when you're coming together, when you're in a relationship, communication is vitally important. And one of my opinions is that, or thoughts or views, whatever you want to call it, is that even if you're in a relationship, you need to have your own account or accounts. And here's why. Even though you're in a partnership and you all are together and you're working together, you're still an individual person. You need to have your money, period. You should always have a separate savings account, checking account, or whatever. You can always have a joint account to pay bills from. There's nothing wrong with that. But you always need to have your own, period. And if your partner does not want you to have your own or have a problem, even if you're putting money in a jar, then that's an issue because that's control. And also in relationships, too many times, things have happened and people have needed to get out of them. And having extra money set aside will help you no matter what. And for anyone who's been in a relationship that wasn't healthy or isn't in one, please get out. Do whatever you can and get out of the relationship. Don't wait. So, that's kind of heavy. So, let's switch gears. Let's push a little bit further. Couples, unpopular opinion number 2 is if you come into the marriage with assets, you should definitely have a prenuptial agreement. Now, I know people like, Sam, I trust him, I trust her, I don't need a prenuptial agreement, we love each other, blah, blah, blah. And my response is always going to be, and you definitely do. And the reason you do is because just as if you're a parent or a guardian or they're any child that you love, you would do anything to protect them, you should do the same thing for your assets, period. You should always protect your assets. I don't care if whether they were given to you or you worked hard for them, they're still yours, and you should do everything to legally protect them, period. Not all marriages end in divorce, but a lot of them do. And even if they didn't, I would still say you always protect your assets. It's just something that you should do. Now, I know sometimes people look at it, if you ask me for a prenuptial agreement, you don't trust me. And I understand that. And that's an emotional feeling, and I get it. But at the same point, too, this is unpopular opinion, but there are no emotions and feelings in business. And this is part of the business aspect of marriage. And so my statement does kind of contradict because, again, relationships, marriage, there's emotions, there are feelings, but there's also the business side. And in the business side, it should be always do what is best for the business and for the assets to secure them. That is what you're supposed to do. That is your obligation and your responsibility. And the thing about it is, just as I'm giving you this advice, you can decide not to, and that's fine too. But if you don't protect your assets, you have to deal with the risk associated with them. Just like when you're investing in a small cap stock, you may believe it may be the next, Amazon. There's risk associated with all investments and all transactions, especially in business. And entering into the financial part of marriage is no different. If you don't do a prenuptial agreement, you run the risk of potentially losing half of that asset, or it could be more, depending. Laws are different. And this is another little caveat I'm going to say now, but I also I will reiterate a little later on. It doesn't matter where you live, you should learn about all the laws that pertain to you, especially when it comes to marriage, especially when it comes to divorce, etc. And I know people don't want to look up stuff or know anything when it comes to divorce, especially if they're getting married or whatever. But here's the thing. It is always good to have information and not need it than to need it and not know it. I'm just going to state that. So I want to talk about marriage, because marriage affords you benefits. And like I said, by the IRS definition, it's an economic partnership. So with some of the benefits here, let me read them off because I don't remember them all off the top of my head. And excuse me, I am a little bit tired. It has been a long day. But I'm excited to do this because I made a promise to myself that I would do these videos and I would keep doing them. And I'm very happy. I was about to say high-sighted. That shows how tired I am, but I will keep going. I'm excited because I feel like this is a blessing, not only for you all, but also for me. So, marriage is a legal contract and there are benefits associated with it. And some of those benefits include, like I said, filing taxes jointly, IRA, inheritance benefits that you don't have to pay taxes when stuff transfers from one to another, and health insurance benefits. Those are the most common ones, and the health insurance one is the one that most people know about. I mean, which is great, because if you're married and your other half insurance, the company they're with, their insurance is better, you can sign up with theirs. But you can also sign up with the organization that you're with as well. So sometimes it's good to have that dual coverage. A lot of couples will do that and say, well, hey, my insurance will cover this, especially sometimes if you have kids. Sometimes it may not cover one thing, but the other ones does. So it's good to be able to have and utilize those benefits. And like I said before, marriage is an economic partnership. Now, here's something I didn't know, because I do like kind of watch some reality TV shows, a 90-Day Fiancé. And with all of everything moving towards mainstream, I found it odd that I didn't see any gay couples on 90-Day Fiancé. And then I read and learned a little bit more that immigration is a federal benefit. And so a lot of gay couples, unfortunately, don't have that benefit. So that's why I said it's important to know. It's always, always, always important to know laws, period. And so next we're going to go into civil union. Most people are familiar with the term a civil union. And civil unions are very similar to marriage. I do believe that it's a state benefit. But again, look at where you live and what benefits apply to civil unions. Anyone can enter into a civil union, but civil unions are basically, I would say, more widespread than for gay marriage. And some of them are, you get parental rights, health care, property, separation, alimony, estate planning, but you cannot file your taxes jointly. You'd have to file them separately. And see, again, that's a good thing to know, because not everyone knows that. You know, civil unions and marriage is similar, but again, they are not the same. And also, one thing I definitely want to state is that rights are not always guaranteed. They can differ from state to state. So that's why it's always important to know the laws of where you live. And I'm a firm believer, if I understand we live where we live and we love where we live, but if the laws aren't favorable to you, I say move to a place that benefits you. That's just me. What else? I want to talk a little bit or give a definition of a domestic partnership. And there's another term that's thrown around and a lot of people don't know about them. But a domestic partnership is an interpersonal relationship between two individuals who live together and share a common domestic life but are not married. And some of those benefits include survivorship, hospital visitation. So again, there are other things out there. Like I've stated or said, and I don't remember if I said it in this video or not, but I am a firm believer that if two people live together, are together, and they're not necessarily married, but they want to get married for the benefits, I'm all for it. Because you know what? In this life, things happen, and things aren't always favorable for us. But if two people come together and they say, our lives are better with the agreement or benefit of marriage, even though we're not in love with each other, I'm okay with that. I know that's an unpopular opinion. I know some people don't like that. But hey, it is what it is. And the reason I say that is because life is difficult at times. Life is hard at times. And it is our responsibility to do everything we can to give ourselves and to have a better life for ourselves. So I encourage you to learn, especially if you're a gay couple. I implore you to learn about state laws and the benefits that are afforded to you. It's very important that we all, because it's so easy. And the reason I'm saying this is because you live in your country, you get up, you do things, you don't think about certain things. And sometimes laws are changed. And sometimes there are benefits that you could have access to that you don't even know about. There are even things on your job, for example, like I didn't even know until a while ago at my previous employer that they reimbursed you for cell phone. It's not something they talked about, but it was something that they did. And so I was able to take part in that benefit. You know, that's what my whole point is. Learn everything you can, especially about where you live and the benefits that are afforded to you so that you can take full advantage of every single opportunity that you can. It behooves us all. There is no need in living this life if we're not going to take full advantage of the benefits that are afforded to us. So the fact that I'm stumbling over my words a little bit lets me know I am extremely tired. So what I want to say is thank you all for watching. I hope this video and all the other videos have been helpful. If you like them, please like and subscribe. And I just want to say thank you all so much. Every like, every comment, it means the world to me. Thank you. Bye.